Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. It is the start of a brand new week. It's the last week of June, which, what? This year is flying by. But I wanted to pop on today because I realized that I haven't shared my story on here for a while. And I wanted to pop on and just chat about how I came to a place of food freedom and what Nourished and Free means to me, how I created that concept and how I coach my clients on that as well, and just share a little bit about what I've been through, because maybe you're going through the same thing and maybe you feel like you're alone in this, and just trust me, you're not. There's always people out there that have been through exactly what you've been through and can relate to you and your story. So I wanted to share a little bit about mine. So my food journey actually goes way, way back. I was a big foodie growing up. I would wake up when I was like 5 years old and ask my mom what we were eating that day, because I've always loved food. I've loved the Food Network. I used to, sick days when I was home from school, I would just watch Food Network. Emeril Lagasse was like my person. I would have always been all about food, and I love, 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 love food. And I truly believe that the devil can use what you love and turn it into your downfall and your biggest enemy. And that's what happened to me. So in 8th grade, I started dieting to fit into my graduation dress, and I lost 10 pounds in 2 weeks. And I realized that I had full control over my body and I could change the way it looked. And so that started a cycle of dieting for me, where I would eat less than 600 calories a day, and I would carry around pictures of thin, back then it was Mandy Moore, no shame, Mandy Moore. I would, 16-year-old Mandy Moore, I would carry around pictures of thin, pretty girls and put them out during lunch during high school, which I'm sure some of my high school friends remember. I would literally put them out, where one of my friends grabbed it and threw it away one day and was like, this is weird to me. I'm like, why are you doing this? Because I wanted that motivation to be skinny. And I thought that if I was skinny, I would be pretty. And that my mom caught on super quick, only like not even a month into me doing this. My mom was like, this is not normal. We're going to the doctor. And basically what I heard was, you need to stop dieting and just eat whatever you want. And I was like, okay, that's fine. And then the binging started, and the binging ended up being more of a problem longer term. Because people notice really when you're eating a little bit and notice when you're dieting, but people don't really notice when you're binging. They just think you're eating a lot, you enjoy food, you love food, whatever. But the binging became more and more of a struggle as the years went on into college, into my early 20s, into even motherhood, because it's something that food is everywhere. It's really accessible, and people don't realize that your drug is basically food. So when you're sitting at a table with all of this food in front of you, it's just like, how do you say no? How do you say no when everyone is eating around you and they don't know that your meal is not going to stop with that food? You're probably going to go home. Who does this? You eat something. You eat like a lot of food when you're out, and then you come home and you make some mac and cheese, and then you crush the chips that are in the pantry, and then you bake some cookies, and then you go out and we get more food. That's what binge eating is. A lot of people think binge eating is just, you overeat a little bit. No, it is like a strategic, methodical, like, I'm going to overeat today to the point of sickness. And that's what happened to me for years. I struggled with binge eating. And sometimes even now the temptations are real. The temptations are there because it is a way to kind of numb yourself out, stress relief big time, but only momentary. And then you're left feeling regret, guilt, bloating, nauseous, all the things, all the icky things. And so this started a cycle for me of binging and then trying out a diet to lose weight, and then binging again and then trying out a diet to lose weight. And I name a diet, I've probably tried it in the last 10 years, like 15 years. I'm forgetting how old I am. The last 15 years, I've probably tried a diet. I tried Atkins, I tried South Beach, I tried going vegan, paleo, Whole30, the portion control, calorie counting, all of the things I have done. And I was always left back to binging because I always felt restricted, to a point where finally a couple years ago, I got real with myself. And I'm a dietitian, so I even went to school to learn more about food so that I could stop my own issues. That's one of the main reasons I went into dietetics, is so that I could figure out a way to fix myself. And I wanted to help others fix themselves too, because I realized how much food was taking control of my life. And so, finally, a few years ago, I decided to really use my dietitian brain, read some research, really dig deep into what's been taught about food. And I realized that the common thing about all of the diets that I tried in the past was that vegetables are king. Like vegetables are so good for us. No one will ever prove to you that vegetables are harmful, they're causing obesity, they're causing heart disease, none of those things. So I decided to eat as many vegetables as I possibly could, because I'm a volume eater. I love eating a lot of food, right? Like you want to look down at your plate and see like abundance. And so I decided that I would try to sneak veggies into every meal. So I started making smoothies with spinach, sauteing veggies in with my eggs in the morning, having a salad on the side of lunch, having a salad on the side of dinner, roasting vegetables, snacking on carrots and cucumbers and broccoli, all of the veggies. So that really helped me not approach food from a place of scarcity, but from a place of abundance. And I started looking into all the foods that I could add onto my plate versus all the foods that I couldn't eat. So instead of saying, I can't have pizza, I can't have chips, I can't have cookies, I would be like, oh my gosh, I could have like 3 of the salads on this buffet line. That's awesome. And like I can add chicken to it, and I can have some fruit, and I can have some nuts and seeds, and just I started looking at food from a place of abundance and what I could add to my plate and add to my meal plan and add to my day versus what I had to cut out and restrict. In the midst of all this, I started developing a lot of GI issues. A lot of people that come from disordered eating have some GI distress, whether it's bloating, diarrhea, constipation, gas, all of those things. And I did an elimination diet and realized that gluten was a big trigger for me for my digestive issues. And so it was really hard for me to cut out gluten. But what helped me again with the mindset is I'm cutting out a food because it makes me feel worse, not because it's bad and that if I cut it out, I'll lose weight. That's the problem that a lot of people have when they start cutting out foods. They think if I cut this food out, then I'll lose weight. You need to approach it from a place of how do I want to feel? And does this food help me feel the way I want to feel? And I realized that gluten did not make me feel the way I want to feel. And so I eat a mostly gluten-free diet now because I want to feel a certain way, not because I want to look a certain way or see a certain number on the scale. And so it's a lot of mindset shift slowly throughout the years that helped me find a place of food freedom and get to a place where I nourish my body well, but also approach food from a place of freedom and not a place of guilt. I had chips and salsa the past 4 days every single day, and I didn't feel guilty about it, and I didn't feel ashamed about it. I did notice that my tummy wasn't feeling that great after eating the chips and salsa. So yesterday I decided to not have chips and salsa because of wanting to feel a certain way, not because I'm a bad person or I felt shame or guilt or any of those things. So food freedom is a long journey. I am still in my journey, but that is why I'm so passionate about helping other people through this journey. These are the approaches and the mindset shifts that I work on with my clients as well, because I want them to approach nutrition and food from a place of freedom and not a place of restriction and guilt, and not from a place of shame, because that's no way to live. Food is just food, and we shouldn't give it that power over us. We should use it to make ourselves feel healthier instead of make ourselves feel sicker and more shame and more guilt. So the 4 concepts that I use with my clients to reach a place of food freedom, my husband just got home. I'm live, babe, just to let you know. The 4 concepts that I use with my clients that help them approach food from a place of abundance and health instead of restriction is 1, vegetables are king. You want to add veggies to all of your meals. So a lot of my clients have never used that concept before, especially when it comes to breakfast. And you can definitely add vegetables to any breakfast. I made those sausage and potatoes yesterday, and we added a whole bag of spinach to them. Add spinach to your smoothies, add kale to your eggs, whatever it is, add vegetables to every meal, and you'll start feeling fuller and feeling more excited about all the food that you're able to eat. Number 2 is only cut out foods that actually don't make you feel well. Don't cut out foods because your sister is cutting them out or your aunt's cutting them out or your neighbor went on keto and was super successful on it. Only follow a food plan or a way of eating that makes you feel better, not for the purposes to lose weight, because that will only lead you down a road of restriction and regret, and you won't actually get the benefits from that eating plan if you do that. So number 2 is to only cut out foods that truly don't make you feel well. Number 3 is focus on how you want to feel. And that is a big game changer for a lot of my clients. Is they approach each day, how do I want to feel today? Do I want to feel energetic? Do I want to feel alert with my brain? Do I want to feel present with my kids instead of thinking about all the snacks that are in in the pantry? How do you want to feel? And that's something that is such a powerful question to ask yourself every day. So I approach each day, I want to feel energized, I want to feel present with my kids, I want to feel joyful, I want to feel nourished. And so those are the things that help me approach my eating for that day and the way I work out and the way I take care of myself in general. And number 4 is the worth it rule. So ask yourself, when you want to treat yourself, is it worth it? Is the feeling I might get afterwards, is the sugar rush I might get afterwards, is all of that worth it for me to eat the food? And sometimes you're going to say, yes, it's totally worth it. There's cookies my grandma makes only during Easter that I want to eat, and that's totally worth it to me. Or if you're on a vacation and the hotel has an amazing breakfast buffet, that's worth it to you. The chips and salsa for me, 4 days in a row, was totally worth it to me, because chips and salsa is like my best friend sometimes. I love chips and salsa. And so that's worth it. So you want to organize your day in a way that you can make those worth it decisions without getting out of hand and without going out of control, which are some of the tactics I work on with my clients one-on-one and in my membership group. Is how do we add treats into our day and make them a part of our day without letting them take over, and while still eating the way we want to eat. Actually, one of the girls in my membership community said that she lost 12 pounds in just a couple months while still eating the treats. It was during Christmas. It was Thanksgiving and Christmas, those 2 months, that she lost 12 pounds while eating all of the treats and all of the holiday goodies, because she learned a way to incorporate them into her day in a way that made them worth it for her to eat them without taking her completely off her plan and sabotaging her goals that she had for herself. So it's really powerful to live in a place of freedom, because you can still lose the weight that you want to lose, get healthy, tone up, and reach the goals that you have without feeling like you're chained to your diet and that you can't do anything, and you can't go out and meet friends, and you can't go out to a Mexican restaurant and enjoy chips and salsa with your family. There are ways to still nourish yourself but also live in complete freedom, which is why I created the Nourished and Free membership. This membership is so powerful because it'll give you the community that it takes to be accountable to reach your goals, but it also give you access to someone who's been through it. I've been through it. I've been through the thick and thin of trying to lose weight and trying to come to a place of health without letting it take over my life. And that's what I teach in my Nourished and Free membership community. So this community will give you a weekly live video with me where I can answer all of your questions, and I do a nutrition teaching on a topic that we choose for that week, and also bi-weekly accountability challenges. So 1 week might be, adding the vegetables to every meal, or the next week might be a workout challenge, or whatever it is that will help us reach our goals. They're bi-weekly challenges. So every other week we'll have a challenge, and then you'll have weekly access to me during the live video and access to me throughout the group. So you can ask questions in the group, and I coach people within that community, because I promise you the issues that you have and the questions you have are not just to you. Most of us struggle with the same things when it comes to food and food freedom and wanting to come to live in a place of food freedom. So there's coaching that happens within the group. There's the live teachings that I do, and then there's the accountability challenges every other week. So I would love it if you joined this community, because I really believe that it can be the missing link to some of us when we're trying to reach a place of living a healthy lifestyle. And this community is open to all women only. You don't have to be a mom. You can be 18, or you can be in your 60s or 70s. I don't care. Just all women, because I'm passionate about helping women live in a place of food freedom and empowerment when it comes to your healthy choices, and not from a place of feeling defeated or shame. So I hope that kind of helps you learn more about where I've come from in my journey. And I don't know if you relate, but I would love to hear if you relate to anything that I've been through. Send me a message, send me a DM, and let me know if this resonated with you. And if you have any questions about the Nourished and Free community, let me know. The enrollment will close this weekend. So this is the last week to join for this round. It's an ongoing community, but I'm not going to leave it open all the time, because I really want to pour into the members and really dig deep into that community. So it'll probably reopen sometime in fall, and I'm not sure if it's going to stay at this price. I may raise the price in fall. So this might be the only chance you have to sign up for the $19 a month. And I'm super excited about getting that started. So I hope you guys all have a great Monday. Let me know if you have any questions or comments about anything I chatted about. And if you want to join the Nourished and Free membership community, the link is in my profile, and you can subscribe through that link. So I hope you guys all have a great Monday, and I will chat with you later. Bye.